You are a smart, logical person. You see exactly how toxic they are. You know they lie. You know they manipulate. And you know they are draining your life force. You swear you are done forever. You rehearse the speech. You block the number. You finally feel clear for one night. Then, one text, one fake apology, or even just one memory hits you. And suddenly, you're right back in hell. You hate yourself for being so weak. You feel like a failure for going back to the very thing that is destroying you. But here is the brutal truth you need to hear. You are not weak. You have been hacked. Your nervous system has been trained to survive on psychological starvation. This isn't a lack of willpower. It's a biological hijacking. Today, through the lens of Carl Jung's shadow work, you are going to understand exactly why you can't walk away, and how to finally cut the parasite's leash for good. But first, you have to understand how they got inside your head in the first place. What does it actually mean to be hacked? The first thing you must do is stop calling this love. It isn't love. It is a conditioned loop. Think about how a slot machine works. If you won every single time you pulled the handle, you would eventually get bored and walk away. If you lost every single time, you would quit immediately. But because the reward is unpredictable, because you win just often enough to stay interested, you become obsessed. This is exactly how a toxic person traps you. They wound you, then they relieve you. They starve you of affection for weeks, and then they feed you tiny crumbs of kindness. They disappear without a word, and then they return with a soft voice and a perfect apology. Your brain is not responding to soulmate energy. It is responding to a chemical spike. Your biology has been weaponized against you. When they hurt you, your stress levels skyrocket. When they finally show you a tiny bit of warmth, your brain releases a massive wave of relief. You become addicted to that relief. You start looking for the person who caused the wound to be the one who heals it. They don't want your love. They want your nervous system. They have turned your mind into a gambler that is always waiting for the next win that never truly comes. But if it's just chemistry, why does your mind make up so many excuses for them? What is the second prison that keeps you trapped? This is where your own intelligence is used against you. You know the truth. You've seen the evidence with your own eyes. Yet, your mind keeps manufacturing reasons to stay emotionally available. This is called cognitive dissonance. It's when two opposing realities collide in your head. One reality says they are harming you. The other reality says you are still attached to them. Because those two truths cannot live together peacefully, your mind starts editing the story to reduce the pain. You say things like, maybe they're just wounded, or maybe if I were more patient, they would change. If you are a smart person, you are even better at this. You don't just make excuses, you build elegant theories. You become the defense attorney for the person who is currently prosecuting your soul. You take their cruelty and rename it complexity. You take your own collapse and call it devotion. But let's be ruthless. Those good moments you keep replaying, they weren't love. They were just the temporary relief of being spared. You felt grateful because the knife stopped pressing for a minute. That isn't intimacy, it's survival. If this is giving language to something you felt but couldn't name, subscribe. Not for comfort, but for the kind of clarity that actually sets you free. You have to realize that you are not forgiving them. You are betraying yourself with a halo on. But there is a deeper reason you can't leave. Why does a part of you still feel drawn to their darkness? Carl Jung warned that we are always enslaved by the dark traits in others that we refuse to accept in ourselves. This is the deepest part of the leash. You aren't just attached to a person. You are projecting your own shadow onto them. Think about the qualities they have that freeze you or fascinate you. Their coldness, their selfishness, their absolute certainty, their ability to say no without feeling bad about it. You hate these traits, but you are also magnetized by them. Why? Because you were taught to kill those traits in yourself. You were told that being selfish is a sin, so you became self-erasing. You were told that anger is dangerous, so you became over-tolerant. You were told that taking up space is arrogant, so you made yourself small. Then along comes someone who shamelessly embodies everything you exiled from your own life. Because you don't own those powers, they appear to have them all. They look enormous and magnetic. You aren't actually drawn to them. You are drawn to the parts of yourself you aren't allowed to use. You can't leave because part of you thinks they hold what you lost. You feel like if you walk away, you'll lose access to that intensity and that force. But they don't own that power. They are just a distorted mirror for your own disowned authority. The invisible leash is tied to your own amputated power. So how do you take back what you projected? How do you stop kneeling to their performance? Here is the part most people skip. The bond does not live in your thoughts. It lives in your body. You can understand everything we just said and still relapse. Why? Because your nervous system was trained inside chaos. Stress became normal. Anxiety became chemistry. Intensity became meaning. If peace feels boring to you, your nervous system has been deeply damaged. Right now, calm feels empty. Silence feels unsafe. Distance feels like abandonment. That is not destiny. That is conditioning. So the rule is simple. Regulate first, interpret second. When the urge hits, do not argue with it. Ground your body. Put both feet on the floor. Relax your jaw. Exhale longer than you inhale. Name 5 things you can see. Move your body. Walk fast. Do push-ups. Shake your arms out. Interrupt the surge before it becomes a decision. Second, remove trauma cues. Delete the photos. Archive the chats. Remove gifts. Stop replaying the songs. Digital shrines are still shrines. Third, build physical anchors. Same wake time. Morning light. Strength training. Protein early. Phone out of the bed. A stable body is harder to hijack. You are teaching your nervous system that calm is safe again. But regulation alone is not enough. There is one final cut that makes freedom permanent. What is it? To stay free, you have to stop asking, "How do I get over them?" and start asking the real question. What part of me keeps preferring familiar pain to unfamiliar freedom? That question is the psychological scalpel. It forces you to look at the internal contract you signed years ago. You must realize that the leash isn't just tied to them. It's tied to the version of you that thinks self-abandonment is a sign of devotion. It's tied to the part of you that still believes suffering can eventually buy love. You must rewrite that contract today. You no longer agree to earn love through pain. You no longer agree to call anxiety passion. You no longer agree to let your brain rename abuse as complexity. To make this real, write 2 documents. The first is called The Cost. List every lie, every broken promise, every physical symptom, and every time you betrayed your own gut. The second is called The Fantasy. List what you hoped they would be. Then, write the brutal truth beside it. This kills the glamour. You don't miss them. You miss the fantasy you built to survive them. You don't negotiate with a leash. You cut it. Once the story dies, the parasite loses its grip. If this hit something real inside you, don't just nod and move on. Go to the comments and type 3 words. Cut the cord. Not for engagement. Not for me. For you. When you write it, you are marking a line between the version of you that kept returning and the version of you that understands the mechanism. You are telling your nervous system the contract is over. You are declaring that you will no longer confuse panic with love or relief with intimacy. And if you know someone still trapped in the loop, still blaming themselves for going back, send this to them. Sometimes clarity is the first act of rescue. Subscribe if you want more precision, the kind that turns shame into strategy and confusion into control. You came in hating yourself for going back. Now you know why. And now you know how to stop. You were never weak. You were conditioned. And now you are free.